Hi everybody. I was sitting around kind of bored and I was begging people to do videos and saying that I didn't have anything to do a video about, but I do kind of, and so I'm going to share really quickly. It shouldn't take long. I was talking on Twitter with some friends today, and the discussion went around to inserts, came back around, so I'm going to show you what I'm using right now, and then I have a couple of ideas that I want to share with you, and I'll link everything in the bottom bar for you, so if you have any questions, you can follow those links. What I'm using right now, I'm using the Ochre Malden that I was so generously gifted, which I absolutely adore. I love this so much. I'm so pleased with it. Is the Cotton Cream Week on 2 Pages. Now, I like the Cotton Cream Week on 2 Pages because you have this notes space at the top. I think it says this week. And so I just have some to-dos because I'm just trying some things here, some different ways of using inserts. In the past, I have really liked dailies or 2-page per day, but I think I'm going to do some things differently this next year. But so let me back up just a touch. I have the month on 2 page in this, which I really love. No matter what I use, I have always liked having a month on 2 pages because it gives me an overview. And in here I put things like appointments and things like that. But what I primarily use the month on 2 pages for is paydays, bill due dates, other expense things that need to come out, or the rare things that come in. But this also came with, actually the Aston came with the Cotton Cream Wick on 2 pages. Now I've always liked the Cotton Cream. Like most people, I prefer it to the white because, number one, the paper is nicer, but you also get the note space up top and then the full Saturday and Sunday days, which are very nice. As you know, if you know anything about Filofax, the Saturday and Sunday in the white week on 2 pages is crammed down here really small. Sunday is half taken up with the calendar that in the Cotton Cream you find up top up here in the note space. So Sunday is just almost useless. So I've decided what I'm going to use the weeklies for is the major planning calendar. So no matter what weeklies I use, the idea is to use the weeklies as planning. So the weeklies are where things like the weekly to-dos, I rarely have a to-do that has to be done on a specific day sometimes, but not as often. For me, it's more of these things just need to get done. It really doesn't matter what day. And then work hours, I always track. And then any kind of appointment times or reminders or anything would go primarily on the weekly. I'm also using Daytimer. I don't think there's absolutely nothing remotely personal. A friend of mine sent me these Daytimer 2 page per day to try because she didn't like them, and I understand why she didn't like them. She talked about having very tiny lines. The lines in this are incredibly narrow. You can see my writing is very large, and what I do is just write over, except for this quote here, write over multiple lines, and it doesn't bother me, except that I don't need the 2 page per day. I don't think there's really not a good day to show you. What I've done is on Daytimer, the appointment times run down this side of the page. So what I've done is sort of make it a column, sort of like the Franklin Covey pages, and I've just drawn a line. I just took the Filofax ruler and drew a line down here so that any appointment time, any time specific thing would go here. I have very few of those. I do sometimes have them at work, but I have a separate work planner. In my personal life, I have very few appointment times, and so I don't tend to use those. I don't use them for to-dos or whatever because my to-dos are just not time specific, and so I rarely ever use the space, and it ends up being a waste of space, which is unfortunate. But here are to-dos. Up here I've done tracking my vitamins and my water. I track those every day. And then this is just, I needed to find my voter registration card and take it to work tomorrow because I'm going to the courthouse. Down here are the to-dos in Daytimer. I don't really like them down here at the bottom. You could use that for something else. You know, I'm not bound to what it says it's supposed to be for. That really doesn't matter. And I put clean bathroom here just because I really wanted to get it done today, but I really prefer the weeklies, like I said, for using the to-dos. And then this page, I just use, dailies have always been for me not so much a planning page as they were a logbook. And what I really liked about Filofax dailies, well, there were several things, but number one, it was a solid white page. What I don't like about these is the color around the border, and then you probably can't see through my gratitude list. Well, you can a little bit. there's like this seasonal little picture here, and to me it just looks like something like you got grease on the page, and it really, this sounds ridiculous, but I have to tell you that that honestly really bothers me. I don't like it at all. I like white pages. Now, I like the cotton cream because I like the format. I would prefer if they were white. I like white paper. I don't mind things on the white paper so much, but I just like, I don't know, it's just one of those things. Prefer solid, white paper. So here's my gratitude list. On the dailies, as I was saying in Filofax, what I used to use it for was not so much to do, but as a logbook. So I just log things like, I talked to the doctor today. I got some blood results back. That's just some information about that. There was a daily tarot draw, oracle deck draw. This is the result of that, and a quote that was on that oracle card. And then a quote that I saw on Facebook earlier that I want to remember, and my gratitude list. So on these could be anything from things I did with the kids, how I'm feeling right now. Like I've been having this horrible allergy thing, so I put things like that. Things I don't want to miss. Things that happen, like my Kindle. I went to turn it on Sunday and it was on the blink, which is so disgusting. It's like almost brand new. Just things that have happened. It's really mundane and quite boring, except to me. It's utterly pointless. My daily logs are utterly pointless and would be to anyone but me, but I like having them. So, what I was watching on Twitter is people talking about inserts and what they were using and what was and wasn't working. And then Josh, my friend Josh, who is clearly just an absolute genius, said that I was talking with somebody and they were saying lime tree. I was talking with lime tree fruits. And she was saying that she was going to use a Dodo Pad for next year. I have always loved the Dodo Pad, but have never purchased one because the blocks are about this big, and I just really never thought it would work. Kate did a wonderful video, and I will link all these down here for you, the other day about the newer Dodo Pads, the ones for next year, the calendar year, have larger blocks, which is nicer, but I just kept thinking, it's just too small, it's ridiculous, it's never going to work. Until Josh said he's going to use the Dodo Pad next week for weekly to-dos and planning, and then put a page in between for the daily stuff that he's got to write down. And the angel sang. It was just like instant clarity, and I thought that could absolutely work, because what I'm using the week for is simply to-dos. And if you're not familiar with Dodo Pad, and I don't know how you could not be familiar with Dodo Pad, that would just be weird, but if you're not, I'll link Kate's video. So the days are over. The days of the week are over on the right-hand page, which is going to look backwards because my stupid camera. And there's a blank page. It has doodles and things on it, but there's a blank page on the left. So that would work perfectly for to-dos, for notes, for anything. And on the right-hand page could be those day-specific things that I use that I obviously don't need much space for. You can see what I've done here the last couple days. The only thing that's on there are my work times. Now sometimes there is a little bit more, but not much. So I was thrilled when Josh said that, because I thought, oh, that would be genius. I have enjoyed Dodo Pad's art. The person who runs it is just lovely. The people are absolutely lovely. I love a company who listens to customer requests, and if you'll watch Kate's video, the impetus for them making the blocks bigger was really talking to customers on Twitter, and I remember that conversation. And I have begged for a couple years now for a daily Dodo, and it's just not something that they can do at this point, and I understand that, but I have loved it for a long time because the artwork and stuff is just genius. The paper, as I understand it, is incredibly wonderful, and for those of us who like to use pens that aren't necessarily the ubiquitous Bic 4-color, that's really nice to have nicer paper. So I am absolutely thrilled, because I think what I'm going to do for this next year is order a Dodo Pad and use it just like I'm using the Cotton Cream weeks for now, and then order Filofax dailies for over here. It gives me the best of both worlds. It doesn't take up oodles and oodles of room. The 2-page per day, as you know, takes up quite a bit of room, and if you're not using the whole left page, it really is kind of pointless. So it made a lot of sense, and that's one of the reasons that I love to see how people are using their planners and talk to people about how they're using their planners, because you get wonderful ideas. So anyway, that's the setup for next year at this point. Any comments, questions, holler at me. I'm going to cut this off, and I will link everything that I've talked to down below for you. Thanks. See you soon. Bye.